Thank you, my lady.
Thank you.
Mr. Rees, what business are you in?
I'm a service provider, firearm service provider.
And what does that mean?
We provide the certification process for firearm applications. To facilitate firearm applications.
Does that include training and or assessment of anybody that would want to purchase a firearm or procure a license for a firearm?
That's correct, my lady.
Do you know the accused in this matter, Mr. Pistorius?
I do, my lady.
When did you meet him?
I met him in May in 2012, my lady.
And who introduced him to you?
Justin Tavares, my lady.
Please explain to court how this happened.
Justin Tavares is a friend of mine, and Oscar went for a test drive of one of his cars, and Justin brought him out to our premises to introduce him to us as a potential client, my lady.
Now, you say potential client. Was there discussion about him becoming a client when you met him?
There was.
What was it about?
He wanted a specific type of revolver, which he was looking for, which I happen to have accessible to myself, and he asked me to procure that specific firearm for him, my lady.
What firearm was this?
A Smith & Wesson 500 revolver, my lady.
And you were able to provide the 500, Smith & Wesson 500 revolver?
I was, my lady.
Now, the accused, did he buy any other firearms from you?
He did. Over a number of months, he bought a number of other firearms from us, my lady.
Mr. Rins, you kept record of the assessment, the training and assessment of the accused before court. You kept record of the unit standard questionnaire, and you have the originals with you at the moment. Is that correct?
I do, my lady.
You also, as part of your documents, have an invoice available that would indicate what specific firearms the accused purchased.
I do, my lady.
Just have a look. I've made a copy of your file. Would you just see if you can identify the document that I placed before you now?
I recognize it as a copy of my file, my lady.
May it please support, my lady, I beg leave to hand this up as Exhibit HH. Now,
HH was Van Rensburg's second statement.
it seems our records might be wrong. If we have an HH, it must be JJ, my lady. We perhaps missed Mr. Van Rensburg's second statement.
What is HH?
As far as Mr. Roux is concerned, it was Colonel Van Rensburg's second statement.
Oh. So this is
JJ.
JJ. Thank you.
Mr. Rens, in the bundle of documents that I placed before you, would you open that at the second last page. Do you have that?
I do, sir.
Now, you recognize that document?
I do, my lady.
As what?
It's the invoice for Oscar's firearms.
Now, the first item on that list is the Smith & Wesson Model 500. What is that?
That's a Smith & Wesson 500 model caliber 500 revolver made in America. It was the initial firearm that Oscar required or wanted, my lady.
Then if one goes down, there's a rifle or carbine Vector LM6 rifle. Do you see that?
Yeah, I do.
What is that?
That is a rifle similar. It's the civilian version of the rifle that our police or military use, my lady.
And in the police and military refers to rifle as?
Assault rifle.
Assault. And R5 or does it?
This is an LM6, the civilian denomination.
Is that a semi-automatic rifle?
Semi-automatic, self-loading.
A further 2 lines down, there's a Winchester Defender 8-shot pump-action shotgun.
That's correct.
Following that is another shotgun, a 6-shot Mossberg Maverick shotgun.
Correct, my lady. With it's a slightly different version with a pistol grip, my lady.
And the last item on that page, what is that?
That would be another Smith & Wesson revolver in 38 special. That would be the smallest revolver as opposed to the 500 being the largest, my lady.
And if you turn the page, that is the second page of your invoice, is that correct?
That's correct, my lady.
And what's the first item mentioned there?
It's a Mossberg semi-auto shotgun. It's the same self-loading shotgun, my lady.
And the next item?
The next item is a self-loading rifle again, similar to the previous one, except modern.
Except
my lady, it's modern. It's a modern version of the previous one.
a modern version. I see. Now, although there's an invoice and although you indicated that the accused bought these firearms, were these firearms ever handed over to the accused?
Not at all, my lady.
Was this transaction cancelled?
Yes, it was cancelled, my lady.
When was this cancelled?
The transaction was cancelled approximately a month post the incident.
You say post the incident, as opposed to the incident that this matter is dealing, this court case is dealing with?
Yes, my lady.
Now, you were in charge of the training and or assessment the accused had to undergo. Is that correct?
I was in charge of the assessment,
The
my
assessment.
lady.
And the assessment would also include the completion of the unit standard questionnaire.
Correct, my lady.
When the accused arrived at your place, did you establish if he had a competency before?
I definitely did, my lady.
What did he say?
He produced his competency cards and license cards that were state issued as proof thereof. My lady.
Was there any discussion about the accused's interest in firearms?
There were many, my lady.
What did he indicate?
He had a great love and enthusiasm for them, my lady.
Now, you have available the questionnaires that the accused filled in.
I do.
Now, in the document that you have in front of you, the first page is copies of the accused's ID and his competency certificates that he was able to point out to you.
That's correct, my lady.
If you turn the page, it's paginated in the top right-hand corner as number 3. That is, what is that?
These are our certificates that we issue on completion of a unit standard, my lady.
So the accused completed unit standard and you issued the certificate.
He completed, but I never issued the certificates.
Why did you not issue a certificate?
We normally do the whole matter. We complete the whole matter at the end, and the matter was never completed.
Good. And paginated page 4, the next page, it's marked Annexure C. What is that?
It's another certificate for another unit standard, my lady.
And that deals with knowledge of the Firearms Control Act.
That's correct, my lady.
Then a document with the heading pre-assessment meeting. Do you have that?
I do.
What is that?
This is just a document that Oscar acknowledges that I'm having the conversations that I've had with him, and I've explained to him what the requirements for his further applications would be.
Now, one can see handwriting, the name Oscar Pistorius. Whose handwriting is that, as far as you're concerned?
Oscar's, my lady.
The signature in the middle of the page on the left-hand side.
Oscar's, my lady.
And just right of that.
It's mine, my lady.
And just above that, I have agreed to be assessed by, and then there's S. Renz. Whose handwriting is that?
That's mine, my lady.
Then at the bottom of that page, there's an ID number, a date, signature, and a name. Who filled that in?
Oscar did, my lady. I believe that's his.
Will you just turn the page then to the paginated page 6? It has the heading Formative Examination, Open Book Exam. Handle and use of self-loading rifle and carbine. Is that correct?
That's correct, my lady.
Now, the handwriting on this page, whose handwriting is that?
It's Oscar's, I believe, my lady.
Were you present when he completed this?
I was on the premises, my lady.
Who was in charge of this?
I oversaw it, and either of our instructors would have been physically doing the test.
Were you there when let us just deal with question number 2. Just read question number 2.
You are at home alone in an isolated area, far from police or security services.
Wait, hold on. Where you reading? Oh, thank you. Thank you. You may proceed.
You happen to look out of your window and you see 2 strange men jumping over your wall and make their way towards your house. You do not know these men, I beg your pardon, and you are not expecting any form of visitor. because it is very late at night. Have they committed an offence that justifies the use of lethal force against them?
And the accused answered.
No, my lady.
Then let's deal with the following question, question number 3.
The men come to your house and proceed to break off the burglar bars of one of your windows and enter your house through the window. They go to your lounge and they start to remove your extremely expensive hi-fi. Can you discharge a firearm at them at this point?
And he answered.
No, my lady.
Then let's deal with question 4.
When the burglars who are stealing your hi-fi become aware of your presence, they turn and they order you to go away or they will kill you. You are behind a security gate, 10 meters away. Can you discharge a firearm at them because you fear for your life?
And the accused answered.
No, my lady.
We'll just turn the page, please. Paginated page number 7, the right-hand corner. Let's deal with question number 5.
There is no security gate between you and the burglars, and they turn around and both are armed. One with a knife and the other with a firearm in their hands. And they advance towards you. Can you discharge a firearm at them because you fear for your life?
And he answered.
Yes, my lady.
Let's deal with question number 6.
Must I read it?
Please read question number 6.
Explain the legal requirements when using lethal force or for private or self-defense.
And the accused wrote the answer himself. Am I correct?
Correct.
And what did he write?
Attack must be against you. It must be unlawful. And it must be against a person. Or against person.
Okay.
My lady.
Now, these scenarios, were those discussed with the accused?
In various ways they were.
On more than one occasion?
Yes, sir. Yes, my lady.
Now, let us deal with the module 2, safety. Question number 7, I'll read it for you. Just follow it, please. Explain what is meant by the term safe direction. And the accused answered.
In the event of an accidental discharge, no harm will come to a person. My lady.
Then, question number 8. List the 4 safety rules in order of importance. How did the accused answer that question?
He answered correctly. Always point in a safe direction. Always keep your finger off the trigger. Always treat a firearm as if it's loaded. And always know your target and what lies beyond.
Question number 9. When should safety precautions be carried out? He answered.
When receiving, when handling. Sorry, I can't make the last word out.
Okay.
Over.
When handing over.
When handing over. And before cleaning, my lady.
Let us just turn the page to question number 8. The accused was asked to list the 10 general safety rules.
Question number 12.
That's question number 12 at page 8. Paginated page 8. What did he answer?
Muzzle conscious. Secured in a holster. Unloaded when in storage. Do not handle unnecessarily. Do not modify in any way. Alcohol and gunpowder don't mix. Never fire into the air. Use only the correct ammunition. Keep firearm clear.
And he scored
lady.
9 for this particular question.
It's 9 answers, my lady.
Who marked it?
Lady in the office.
Let us turn the page to question 10. Page 10. And let's deal with question 25. The question is, explain the importance of target identification. How did the accused respond?
Know your target and what lies beyond, my lady.
Would you mind turning to paginated page 12? There's a question, list the steps in order to carry out the safety inspection on a self-loading rifle or carbine. Is it different with a handgun?
No, my lady.
What would that be then? What did he answer?
Safe direction. And then he repeated point in a safe direction. Finger off the trigger. Remove the magazine. Pull the cocking lever back. Check the chamber.
See.
My lady.
Now, if you just turn the page to paginated page 13, question 48. It reads, what's the recommended safe carry condition for a rifle in terms of everyday carry? What did the accused respond?
What we refer to as condition 3, chamber empty, magazine full, safety on. My lady.
Then if you turn the page, there is a different questionnaire that deals with the knowledge of the Firearms Control Act 60 of 2000.
That's correct, my lady.
It's paginated page 14. At page 17, would you open at page 17? Question number 17. I'll read the question. No person may possess any ammunition unless he or she, and what did the accused answer?
I presume has a dealer's license. He wrote dealer's license. Has a license for a firearm of that caliber. Has a permit for ammunition collectors, I presume, but it just says has a permit for ammunition, my lady.
Then, if you just keep paging at paginated page 24, that's a closed book exam, handle or use of a self-loading rifle or carbine.
That's correct, my lady.
And you were the instructor during this closed book test.
I was present, my lady.
Question number 1. What are the legal requirements for the use of lethal force when defending against an attack? What did the accused answer?
Same as before. Attack must against you. Attack must be against a person and unlawful.
Then we deal with
My lady.
the scenarios again. I'll read it for you. Question 2. Make decisions regarding the use of lethal force referring to the following scenarios. You're at home alone in an isolated area, far from police or security services. You happen to look out your window and you see two strange men jump over your wall and make their way towards your house. You do not know these men and you're not expecting any form of visitors because it's very late at night. Then it's a question, what offense have they committed? He answered. What did the accused answer?
I'm just trying to read. What if minor property offence?
Can you just,
my lady?
And then there's a B question. Can you justifiably use lethal force against them?
No, my lady.
Scenario 2. The men came to your house and proceed to break off the burglar bars of one of your windows and enter your house through the window. They go to your lounge and they start to remove your extremely expensive hi-fi. Can you discharge a firearm at them at this point? If you answer yes, explain why. If you answer no, explain why not. What did he answer?
Oscar answered no. Life is not in danger.
This closed book test, question number 3. Explain what is meant by the term safe direction. How did the accused answer?
In the event of an accidental discharge, no person shall be injured or killed, my lady.
Question 4. What does it mean to be muzzle conscious? What did you answer?
To know where the firearm is pointed, my lady.
Question 5. List the 2 safety rules in order of importance.
Safe direction, finger off trigger, my lady.
The next question. List 3 scenarios when safety precautions should be carried out. That's question 6. How did he respond?
Before cleaning, when handling over and or plus when receiving a firearm, my lady.
Now, during the how many times did you see accused during this time?
In total,
Yeah, you could just indicate with it.
10 or 12 times.
And what would the accused do on those 10 or 12 times?
We would shoot, my lady.
Now, did the accused relate to you any incident where he thought there was something wrong in his house and what he did?
I only have a half a
What firearm was this?
A Smith & Wesson 500 revolver, my lady.
And you were able to provide the 500, Smith & Wesson 500 revolver?
I was, my lady.
Now, the accused, did he buy any other firearms from you?
He did. Over a number of months, he bought a number of other firearms from us, my lady.
Mr. Rent, you kept record of the assessment, the training and assessment of the accused before court. You kept record of the unit standard questionnaire, and you have the original.
Lady.
Please explain to court how this happened.
Justin Devoris is a friend of mine, and Oscar went for a test drive of one of his cars, and Justin brought him out to our premises to introduce him to us as a potential client, my lady.
Now, you say potential client. Was there discussion about him becoming a client when you met him?
There was.
What was it about?
He wanted a specific type of revolver, which he was looking for, which I happen to have accessible to myself. And he asked me to procure that specific firearm for him, my lady.
Is with you at the moment, is that correct?
I do, my lady.
You also, as part of your documents, have an invoice available that would indicate what specific firearms the accused purchased.
I do, my lady.
Just have a look. I've made a copy of your file. Would you just see if you can identify the document that I placed before you now?
I recognize it as a copy of my file, my lady.
May I please support, my lady? I beg leave to hand this up as Exhibit HH. Now,
HH was Van Rensburg's second statement.
it seems our records might be wrong. If we have an HH, it must be JJ, my lady. We perhaps missed Mr. Van Rensburg's second statement.
What is HH?
As far as Mr. Roux is concerned, it was Colonel Van Rensburg's second statement.
Oh, okay. So this is
JJ.
JJ. Thank you.
Mr. Rens, in the bundle of documents that I placed before you, would you open that at the second last page? Do you have that?
I do, sir.
Now, you recognize that document?
I do, my lady.
As what?
Thank you, my lady.
Thank you.
Mr. Rees, what business are you in?
I'm a service provider, firearm service provider.
And what does that mean?
We provide the certification process for firearm applications. To facilitate firearm applications.
Does that include training and or assessment of anybody that would want to purchase a firearm or procure a license for a firearm?
That's correct, my lady.
Do you know the accused in this matter, Mr. Pistorius?
I do, my lady.
When did you meet him?
I met him in May in 2012, my lady.
And who introduced him to you?
Justin Devaris, my